Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always. What are we brewing up today?
Today we're going straight to the source, no pun intended, of your morning pick-me-up coffee. But we're digging deeper than just beans and roasts today. We're talking about the impact of coffee farming, the communities it supports, and, well, let's just say we might even encounter a few goats along the way.
Goats. Okay, you've definitely piqued my interest.
I thought you might say that. So we've got two pretty interesting sources lined up for today's deep dive. First up, we have a news article highlighting the crucial role coffee farming plays in Africa. And for something a little different, we also have this, how should I put it? A fun fact blurb from Causffee, the coffee company. And it all revolves around, you guessed it, goats.
All right, you have to tell me more about this goat connection.
Well, apparently, according to Causffee, there's this whole legend about how goats actually led to the discovery of coffee.
Seriously, I've never heard that one before.
It really is a fascinating story. So, picture this. Ethiopia, considered the birthplace of coffee, right? And we've got a goat herder just doing his thing, watching over his flock. But then he notices something strange about his goats. They're acting unusually energetic, almost as if they've had one too many espressos.
Okay, that's a pretty good visual. I'm guessing it has something to do with what they were munching on.
You know it. Turns out those mischievous goats had been snacking on berries from a specific type of tree.
And I'm betting those weren't just any berries, were they?
You got it. Those were coffee berries.
So this goat herd just stumbled upon the secret to coffee. What happened next?
Well, legend has it that the goat herd, being a curious soul, decided to try these magic berries for himself. And surprise, surprise, he experienced that same burst of energy. Talk about a lucky break for coffee lovers everywhere.
That is a wild story. Who knew goats were such trendsetters?
Right, and it just goes to show that sometimes the most groundbreaking discoveries happen in the most unexpected ways. Speaking of discoveries, this news article really highlights just how crucial coffee farming is, particularly for smallholder farmers in Africa. It's not just a job, it's their livelihood, their main source of income, their entire way of life.
Absolutely. Coffee farming is a cornerstone of many African economies. It provides essential income for millions of families and shapes the social fabric of entire communities.
And this is where Causffee comes in, with their focus on ethical sourcing. They talk about working directly with these farmers to ensure they're getting a fair deal for their beans.
That's the key takeaway here, the impact of our choices as consumers. When we choose ethically sourced coffee, we're directly supporting those farmers, their families, and their communities.
So it's about more than just getting a good price for the beans. It's about ensuring those farmers have sustainable livelihoods.
Precisely. Ethical sourcing means investing in their futures, enabling them to improve their lives and communities, and fostering a more equitable coffee trade for everyone involved.
It's amazing to think that something as simple as choosing a bag of ethically sourced coffee can have such a ripple effect. So we've got dancing goats, hardworking farmers, and the power of ethical consumption. Who knew coffee could be so fascinating?
It's a great reminder that there's a story behind every cup.
It really is. Before we wrap things up, any final thoughts for our listeners?
Sure. The next time you're enjoying your morning coffee, take a moment to appreciate its journey from the farm to your cup. And remember, every sip is a chance to make a difference.
Well said. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I'm due for another cup, ethically sourced, of course. And for all our listeners out there, here's something to consider. What other everyday choices we make might have a similar ripple effect on communities around the world? That's something worth thinking about, don't you think? Until next time.